Okay, so welcome to my video. What we'll be showing you is how you can download and install Bullet and then Newton for the purposes of building the physics abstraction layer. So the very first thing we're going to do is we'll go into how do we get Bullet. So if you go to bulletphysics.org, we can download the SDK, which we'll need to do, and we hit the download link at the top. The version we want is 2.75, which I believe is the latest at right now. So if you right click on that, you can save the link to your desktop, and if you do that, you'll have to unzip it. So I already downloaded that ahead of time. So you unzip Bullet, and the way Bullet works is you need to use a tool called CMake to actually build the Xcode project file so that we can actually build Bullet from source. So if you don't have CMake, you can download CMake from cmake.org. Just basically go to the main page, and you can just hit the download link in Google. We've got a Mac Universal Binary, so just download that and install that as a regular application, and add that one to your dock. Okay, so I'll launch CMake. The way CMake works is we first asks us where is our source code, so we'll have to browse for the source and just point that to our Bullet directory. So I'll just drag that on, and then it asks us where would we like to build the binaries for. So I'll just set that to the same as where the source code is. Well, it normally doesn't come up like that. I'm just gonna. Normally it would just appear like this, but I've already run it before, that's why we had some things show up. So the very first thing you need to do now is hit the configure button, and then it'll ask us for a generator for the project. Unix makefiles is default, but we want the Xcode project, and just hit done. So that's going to do some checking for paths and things in the system, looking for libraries. Just wait a couple of seconds for that. Okay, so it's found OpenGL, you can see down the bottom here, and it should be looking for something else as well. Okay, and we've also found Glut. So now it's basically ready to generate a project. We don't actually have to edit anything in here, unless you're on OS 10 10.5. You want to change that to 10.5 as well as the SDK, but we don't need to do that. So that's okay, we just hit configure again, and then all the red highlighting goes away, and now we can hit generate. So that has now generated a Xcode project file in our Bullet folder, which is what we can see here. So we'll just open that up, and that's going to open with Xcode. So we can close down CMake now, because we don't need that anymore. Okay, so here we have our Bullet project. There's a lot of things in here, a lot of sample applications that it can build, and then down the bottom we have all our static libs and dynamic libs that it will build for us. So we'll have to configure our project just a little bit. Okay, so we need to choose first of all a release mode build. You can also build debug yourself later on if you want. Or build as the active target, and on the very bottom we need to set this to i386, which is Intel 32-bit build. Okay, so now we can hit Command B, and that will go ahead and build the entire Bullet project. So I'll just pause the video while it does that. Okay, so it looks like everything has built. Just to make sure that that Bullet's actually working, we should open up the app All Bullet Demos. So we'll just reveal that in the Finder, and we'll just run that one, and that should open up. Yep, opens up a little demo program that just lets us know that Bullet's working. Okay, so that's all good. So Bullet's also built some libraries that we're going to need later on for when we set up PAL. That's the multi-threaded soft body, collision dynamics, and the linear math libraries. So we'll come back to those a bit later on. But for now, that's basically Bullet built on OS 10, so we can move on to getting Newton working next. Okay, so now we'll get Newton downloaded. The good news is we don't actually have to compile Newton, so it's very easy to install. You essentially have to go to the newtondynamics.com website. There'll be a link here, just download at the top, and what we'll have to look for is, we probably don't want a beta version, so we'll just scroll down. And the version I'm using is 153. It's an old version, but it's stable. And then here we've got Newton Mac. So right click and just save that one as for the desktop. I've already done that though, so and I've already unzipped it. So basically, I'll just hide that web browser. Okay, so what you actually get is not too many things, but you get some pre-built static libraries. You've got a 32-bit Newton one and a 64-bit one, and there's a 32 for PowerPC. But this is the one that we are concerned about, the 32-bit one. And there's the header include file for Newton. And that's basically it. Nothing else you have to do. And then next we'll move on to getting Bulletin Newton built with Power.